Hello, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I am excited to welcome you to the Spectrowhirl Tarot Deck Casual. Spectrowhirl Tarot is art by Allan Simon. There's the website. And I have asked someone who I can blame somebody for this because I saw them talking about this on a live, and then I watched their flip through of it. And that person would be the crazy Robin from Toadstool Tarot. So, everybody, welcome Robin to the chat.
My eyes. It's the Spectrowhirl Tarot.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so here's Robin's flip through of his YouTube, and here is the Spectrowhirl website. So, and everybody knows the routines, right? Purchase responsibly, know your limits, and that's the tarot collector's disclaimer. So, and Robin is all set, isn't he? So
He's a little. I'm afraid I'm going to have to take him off in order to see. There is
well,
a slit in here, but
they're
a little tight.
There you go. There is a little slit in there, and it's a little tight. All right. Anyhow, Hershey is here. Hello, Hershey, and the Sandra is here. Hello, Spirit of Avalon, and Robin. You made that hat, correct?
I did.
Crocheted that. Yep.
Yes.
I love that.
I had to check it out for the colors in this deck. I'm not
really, yes.
drugs today, but anybody that does drugs, they will love this deck.
Maruda is here. Hello, Maruda. And Tony, Antoinette, Intuitive Tarot and Jewelry is here. And Beth, Aspasia Rising is here. And okay, we just jumped, and we've got, I saw Peter J. Watts is here. Hello. PD Connects is here. Hi. Yeah, your hat fits with the deck, Robin.
I have about 50 or 60 of these hats I've made in all different colors, and I wish there was a way to set them up all around me, like, you know, gumdrop mountains or something, but
I love that.
I don't have the space.
And Lisa is here. Hello. Manic Mouth 420. Hello, good to see you. Compound Egg Eyes are cool. Yes. And Pamela Batchelor is here. Good to see you. And just getting caught up because we've got Lisa is saying hi to you. And you must have that cup. Well, you know, it's a great cup, isn't it?
I wish I could put my hat on your cup.
It would look good, wouldn't it? It would look good. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Good to know, Robin. That ship sailed a while ago for me, but I'll try to see it from a beginner's mind. And all right, thank you, Tony. Medium Betsy Palmer is here. Hello, Medium Betsy Palmer. Looking forward to our Betsy. Chris and I are going to be doing another live in July where we're talking about the Claires. It's part of our lovely Laugh and Learn. So everybody, please make sure you like and subscribe. It's free, and it lets me know you're interested. It also lets YouTube know that. Micah is here. I agree, Hershey. The Day of the Dead is really powerful. And Orshi is here. Robin. I saw this deck on Robin's channel. Looks wonderful. Looking forward to watch the replay for this. Oh, she has a headache and going to sleep early. Oh gosh. So, and oh yeah. And Beth said she enjoyed your conversation with Dawn Michelle on Orshie's channel. So, and okay, so I love this. And okay, so how did you find this deck, Robin? Let me ask you that, because I found this deck because of you.
Well, I think it was like almost a year ago around this time that I found it. And for some reason, after the dark days of winter last year, I got in this mode where I was looking for decks with color.
Mm-hmm.
I went through this phase where color was the most important thing to me in collecting new decks.
Yes.
I don't remember what else I got, but it seemed like I had a string of about 3 or 4 decks I bought over the period of a couple of months that had bright colors in them. And I often go on Etsy and other places to look for, decks that
Mm-hmm.
because I also check Amazon, but they're pretty mainstream, but on Etsy, you'll usually find something little off the beaten path. And so
Sure.
I saw them on there and I saw the bright colors. And first thing I do when I see an image of a card I like or a deck I like is go then onto YouTube and see if there's a walkthrough anywhere. And I found one
Uh-huh.
and I really liked it. And I thought this might be a challenge for me because it's not really a scenic deck, but it
Yes.
definitely fills the bill in terms of color.
It absolutely does. You are correct.
And at first, I just wasn't sure about it because I didn't have really experience reading non-representational decks. I had done
Mm-hmm.
a Marseille study group I'd been participating in, and so.
Mm-hmm.
But my mind tends to translate into RWS from what I'm reading, and gotten to
Uh-huh.
the point where I can read a deck now just from the titles, regardless of the images. I
Sure.
still prefer picture scenes like a storyboard or something.
Oh, of course. Yes. Mm-hmm.
But this one really was refreshing, I think, just to have all these colors,
Yes. Yes. Well, I want to say hi to a few more people that have come in. Rose Flower is here. Kathy, Tortoiseshell Moon, and Zena's Place, Intuitive Card Readings. Lisa is watching us on the big screen while making pendulum strings. Probably won't be chatting, but I'm glad you're here. And M.A. the Gray is here. Yay, a weekday live. This is good. Yeah, Sandra says, I love bright colors on a deck. And so I pulled something from the website and the creator, Benjamin Allan Simon, said Spectrowhirl Tarot is a kaleidoscopic collision of light, color, and whimsy. And each color card, the image for each card was painted in acrylic on canvas. And on their website, they had, on their Etsy store, they had canvases that were available. And I bought one of the paintings that, this isn't actually in the deck, but it could certainly be the star card. But very, very lovely, very reasonably priced. And you bought 2, correct?
I was so excited when I found this guy's artwork. His original artwork for the actual cards in the deck was available on his website at reasonable prices. I mean,
Yes.
I bought 2 of them. I think they were somewhere between $50 and $75 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
For original art, and
Yep.
what ran through my mind was, if Pixie were alive, can you imagine what it would have been like to have been able to buy the original art that one of her cards was made from? I thought,
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait. I have to get this art and support this guy. And
Yep.
I thought, if he's selling them, they'd be hundreds of dollars or whatever. Under 50 or 75. And I think there's still some on there. I haven't checked his website.
There are. There are. I was just looking yesterday, and this I actually have hanging on a wall. So when I'm on a live or sitting here, I can actually see it. So it's really beautiful.
Can you push it closer to the lens? Because in the borders, people need to appreciate the amount of tiny detail that he puts into all his ornamentation. Yeah, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
All those little dots and swirls and curls. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. You can't quite get it, I don't think, on a camera review of the cards. But yeah. So I would take my pieces off the wall and show you all, but they're too hard to get back up there. But I will show you when we get to those cards.
And this is called Starlight Mirror. So, and it's signed on the back. So it's very important that I have a signature.
And that one's bigger. Mine are I think like 5 by 7 inch.
Are they?
Really almost like miniatures.
Yeah. Maruda said the first time I saw it, it seemed overwhelming, but I've seen it being used in readings, and I have grown to enjoy it. And Hershey said, I'm drawn to black and whites or muted color palettes, but fell in love with the colors of Bonefire. So definitely want to see if it's the brightest. Yeah. And it really is beautiful. Hi, Manasa. Good to see you.
And I think,
by the way,
first, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say my first impression of it online was that it's fluorescent paint, and it's not, but the colors are really intensely bright, about as bright as you can get for acrylic.
Yes.
Sorry.
And Manasa is going to be on my channel. She is going to be doing a back and forth with Jamie and Gerald. Stay tuned. And Hershey just put one in my cart. Purchase responsibly, know your limits. M.A. the Gray said, I've had some in my cart forever. Maybe time to have another look. The shading and highlighting is amazing too. It is. And Hypnocity, hello. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
I would say to Emmy, not to dissuade you from buying it, but if you have issues with reading pip decks or non-representational decks, you might want to think about it. I think you need to be able to. I wouldn't recommend this to a RWS or a beginner.
I would say this is okay. So let's let's move into the cards so people can start seeing the cards, because I know this is it does there is a PDF meanings and methods for the deck available on the website. And one of the things that the creator has said is these cards help illuminate the human condition, take a deeper look into the hopes and dreams. And this is definitely one of these things that I have been using this deck, and I have I've been doing readings with it over the last week when I've been doing readings live. And they do cause me to pause a little bit and to go, okay, what's going on with the image? Because it is more of a pip style deck.
And I think it has to do with if you're into light and color vibration or color healing, light healing, this may well appeal to you. And you can see in the cards directions or flow of colors and lights that are moving. And if you're good with working with that kind of energy, I would recommend the deck.
Yes. And so Tony asked, do you have the first or second edition? I don't know. I got it last year, soon after Robin got his, and it does say 2021. So Esther G is here. Hi, Esther. Good to see you.
I wasn't aware there was more than one edition.
Yeah. So
when I
bought mine, I bought the deluxe pack because that's me, and it came with some very nice stickers. So this is the sort of thing that you see. And got a little card here. There's all of their information. And oh, Tony said, I see the second has different majors and 5 new minors. I did not know that.
Oh.
So I did not know that. Well, that's good to know, because my majors are lined up. I would have to do a double check. That's very interesting. So, oh, Kelly is here. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you. Hypnocity, we're not doing readings today. We're not doing readings today. And Kelly says hello to all. And Kelly's going to be on my channel in a couple of weeks on a Monday for a silly casual. So the deluxe is what I put in my card. I clicked the link you shared and it shows 2 different decks. Okay, good to know. Good to know. And okay, so it does come in a, okay, I put the box down. Comes in a tuck box. But it does have the nice little edge here. Do you keep your box, Robin, or did you
I have
put it away?
Corner of a shelf that has empty tuck boxes on it. If I'm going to use a deck a lot, I'll put it in I actually got this sort of psychedelic
Mushroom toadstools.
Toadstool storage pouch that I keep it in. But yeah, if I'm not using anything for a while, I'll put it in the tuck box and store it on the shelf. But if I'm using it more, I make it.
Speaking of mushrooms, Zane is here. Tarot Token Witchery. Good to see you, Zane. And yeah, Jane the Seeker is here. Hello, Jane. And M.A. the Gray said, I heart tuck boxes. Just saying. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody's allowed to like tuck boxes.
Yeah.
If they so choose.
I just find that if I use them, there's a lot of wear and tear on opening and closing. And I mean, it's one thing to like tuck boxes, but does anybody really love a raggedy tuck box with tears and worn
I don't know.
edges? I'm not.
M.A. the Gray might. M.A. the Gray might. So the cards, so as I mentioned, there is a PDF guidebook. Which one of the nice things about the guidebook is it has color images.
Yeah.
So, so Benjamin Allan Simon, thank you for the color images. And the guidebook also includes various spreads and way to use the cards. So,
yeah, you don't have a way to share the PDF on this screen to scroll to show people.
I do not.
Because it really glows out of the computer screen.
It really does. It really does. This is the back of the deck. So it is reversible if you so choose. So you have the back there. The card stock, it's not a horrible card stock. It's not really thick. It's not a high gloss card. So, oh, and Tony said the second edition comes with guidebook.
Oh.
There you go. And Chris, Elemental Cardomancy, is here. Hello, Chris. Good to see you. So,
yeah, I like the card stock. I mean, there's a new trend in cards as being like matte and large and really stiff. I'm not so much for that. This is more kind of traditional card stock.
Okay. And the size of it is different. The size of it is okay, so here's the back, and so the size of it is, see if I can do it this way. It's a little wider than the RWS, and it is shorter. So you can see that. And ooh, here, let me be that guy who gets out the tape measure. It is like 2 7/8 by 4 inches. So it's wider, it's shorter than a traditional RWS. So there's that. And it It does not come with an edging color per se, but it is a border deck, and the border is black. Have you edged yours, Robin?
No, I haven't. I'm not really big on that. If I did, it would be a black edge, I think. But
Yeah.
now, when I first got it, I questioned whether it should be trimmed or not, whether it should have a black border. And I think I decided that it kind of needs the black border to rein in all the colors. The colors can be
Yeah.
overwhelming, and it really needs that black border.
I think the black border helps to contain it.
Yeah.
So, and Chris said maybe quite like the Bonefire then. Yes, I would say it's a similar size to the Bonefire. If you have the first edition, he's offering a special discount code to obtain the second edition.
Oh.
I love that. I'm going to have to do that. And Beth said that makes sense, Robin. So thanks, Tony. You know, I am going to have to enable the know my limits and purchase responsibly, because if I buy the second edition, which I might, I'd have to get that code. You know, because I'm a hashtag tarot collector. So it's 78 cards. So there are no, in the first edition, there are no changes to the majors' names. And the court cards are called Page, Knight, Queen, and King. The suit names are swords, wands, cups, and coins. Strength is 8, justice is 11, and there's really no people in it.
Well, there are a couple, but
yeah, but the majority of them are not people oriented. So that's why when we talk about, it's sort of like a pip deck, it's definitely it's a pip style deck. That being said, when I was reading with this, and this is, you know, hashtag, you know, know your limits, you know, for entertainment purposes only, it's not a traditional pip style deck. Because there's color and there's interaction, there's a dynamism between around the images. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because most pip decks, the pips are readily in your face, and there's not a lot of other stuff going on. It's really focused on them. In these, you almost would have to like look for the pips to find them.
Yes. And actually, I have some of my favorite cards are because of his interpretation of them. Hi, Robin's Reflections. And Jane the Seeker said, I love no people decks. And Jane the Seeker also said, I used to hate pip decks. Now I love them. And Jane, perhaps when I am on Tuesdays with Tarot Stash, exclusively on Jane the Seeker Tarot, a week from tomorrow, maybe I can use the deck. Sandra said, I don't like pip decks at all, so this probably wouldn't be for me. Right. It may not, but it's so beyond it, and I think the creator has done a nice job of. It's so colorful, Robin. It's just like, whoa. All right, so in the first edition, there are no extra cards. So let's pull out some of the favorite cards. What do you got, Robin? We'll start to do that, and then we will try to show cards for people if they want to see them.
My first favorite card is the Six of Swords, which is one of the paintings of his that I bought. And again, I'm so thrilled to have this painting. And I didn't buy this because it's a Six of Swords. Six of Swords is not particularly a favorite card, but I love the colors and the arrangement of the, oh my God, look at the difference in color between our two lenses or lights. I'm trying to think if we can get in, probably can't. Yours is sharper, probably. Some of the cards I might call you to come in close because they're
of course
details in. I mean, some of these details he must paint with a one bristle brush or something.
Yeah.
I can't hold the card still, but
That's all right. I've got it. You can talk
yeah.
about what you were. It.
So
Yeah.
I there were some cards I absolutely loved in the deck, and I thought, "Ooh, he's got the original artwork available. I want to buy those," and they weren't there. They'd been
They
sold off.
were already sold. Yeah.
So, but of all the ones that he did have, this one was my top favorite. So I thought I'd show that card first.
Yeah.
And you do have hints there. I mean, well, you've got the water, and in the Six of Swords, you've got the boat crossing the water. Here we've got not swords in a boat, but look, he's got an anchor there, sort of for a handle on the on one of the swords, and it does have a sort of a direction of movement across the water. I think
Mm-hmm.
from left to right. Yeah.
Yeah. Robin's Reflections asked, how large were the originals? Did you say they were about 5 by 7 inches
Yeah,
for the ones that were on for the tarot deck?
yeah, they're little the little canvas board. They're not stretch canvases like Gerald's. They're little canvas boards, and they're 5 by 7. So
Mm-hmm.
so they're kind of like miniatures, and I have them in frames under glass. So
Yeah.
oh, actually, you can't see real well, but right behind me, under that man,
Under the person not wearing the sporin, which is one of the things that Tony asked.
so that's I don't know if you can even sort of.
Oh yeah, I can see that. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And Robin's Reflection says, "Oh, I see it." I want to show one of my favorite cards. It is the Two of Swords.
Mm.
And I was doing readings with this recently. Purple Elephant Deb H and I were on with Ron Unconditional Love Tarot. And I was using this card. And one of the things that I appreciate about this Two of Swords is I love this. Here, let me get my tiny hand out. I love how, we have this rainbow ribbon here going between them, and it reminds me of a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
And so instead of being caught up like the Two of Swords is about, being in conflict with our thoughts, it's also about just cutting the ties, just cutting it. And, and look at that eye above. It's holy mackerel.
I love that third eye, and I love also that rainbow is not an arc, a straightforward.
Yes.
It's sort of sinuous like a snake or a serpent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like questionable. Is this rainbow, this thing of beauty? Should I cut this or should I not? Yeah, I love that scissors aspect.
Yeah, and that was something that I have to say I didn't initially recognize until I was putting it into readings, where it just tied beautifully, because this ribbon connected the cards in between it, and it was like perfect. Yeah, cutting off what doesn't serve you. Mm-hmm. So, all right, Robin, what do you got?
Oh,
your next one.
Oh,
Everybody's wanting to see these cards, so I'm trying to go.
This is the 10 of coins. And in the RWS 10 of coins, we've got like the whole family under an arch, and there's buildings in the background. This one kind of reminds me, there is in Greenwich Village a library that used to be a women's prison, and it looks like a little castle. It's not very far from where I live. And they actually did the Mae West obscenity trials in that particular women's detention house or whatever back in the 20s, I think. But anyway, I just love this kind of castle effect and like the sort of garden, with all the green and the colors flowing, and I don't know, fairy tale world kind of feel to it.
Yeah, and the clock tower is wearing one of your hats.
Yeah.
So, And this is one of the things that I appreciate about what the artist has done is there are small little details that when you put the cards together as you're reading, they can help tell the stories. And they could help. And Lisa asked, do the colors, however, take away from the interpretation? It seems difficult, like the Six of Swords. I guess I have to break out from the RWS still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does it causes me to look at all of the cards differently. So it's a way to get out of the because the swords are oftentimes a difficult suit, and I think the swords in this deck, they're bright, they're colorful, and it really helps. So I don't know if I've answered your question.
I don't know if I already said this. I think we talked about it before we went live. I said I've been referring to this as a non-representational deck. And if you work with RWS, you might have a little trouble, but there are some hints in the cards. For instance, the one we just showed, you have that arch over the top, that wall, and you've got the building in the background, and you've got this cluster of discs, you know. So, I mean, if each disc represents a person, you have the family there in the garden with the arch and the tower. So, I mean, there is a little bit of a nod or a hint to the RWS. It's not real obvious.
It's a good point.
Kind of like if you can't remember which one the 10 of coins is, you might find a little help in those symbols in the background.
That's a good point. So, Lisa, thank you for asking the question. And yeah, the rainbows are really phenomenal, and I would say it's a happy deck, but it's not overly happy. It's just taking, well, and as he said, it's just like illuminating the human condition and looking for hopes and dreams. I have not used this deck for dream work, but I could certainly see it. Manasa Wellness asks, is this an LGBTQ plus themed deck? It is not advertised that way, but with the rainbows, it certainly could be used that way.
Yeah, so I got it when I was looking to add color into my collection, and you can't add more color than this deck.
Yeah.
In fact, at first it felt so garish, I almost didn't buy it, and then I thought, no, I have to go ahead and get it. The other deck at the time that I got was the Golden Art Nouveau, which a lot of you know, which is a mass market. It's like sort of like Musha type paintings with gold foil, and that was another one that I thought, oh my God, it's so gaudy, and my grandmother would have called it loud. It's a loud deck.
Loud.
And it's overwhelming with colors and brightness and energy and vibrancy. And so you have to be able to work with that kind of energy or want to work with that.
Yeah. Robin's Reflections asks, how do you all read with this one? I find it to be one of my most intuitive. It really, is really more, I say, psychic decks. It's a third eye deck for me. That makes perfect sense. I agree with you. Robin, how do you read with it? Do you read with it much?
I'm not certain I find it that intuitive, other than, I mean, if I can switch gears and focus my mind on the way that colors move on the card, or how they come together or move apart, or if they're going a certain direction, that intuition I can deal with. And I showed you when on that last card, when I look at those coins, I think of them as people, characters in the family of that 10 of coins. But generally speaking, it's not as intuitive for me as a lot of pictorial decks are for me.
Yeah.
So I'm shocked to hear somebody can intuit from these. you know.
I can sort of intuit from it, especially when it's like I was watching Jane the Secret Tarot this morning, and she was plugged in. I actually was on the other side of the room listening to her, and I could tell her energy shifted in the way she was talking. And I went over and I looked at the screen, and I was like going, okay, there's a radiant about her. And I think for me, it's one of those. It would certainly be um, I can see where if you see auras, I don't know if medium Betsy Palmer is here, but if you see auras, it may be too much for you. I am actually wondering what I would pair with this deck if I were to pair another deck with it. Would I pair a colorful deck, or would I pair a black and white? I don't know. If you have this and you're watching later, please comment below. I want to know what you've paired it with.
I think it would be interesting to pair with a black and white deck, and there seems to be a current trend of black and whites out there, so
yeah,
that might be a real good time for it. It just occurred to me, I wonder what the experience was like for the artist to paint these, because you know, you sit down with a palette and canvas and you've got enough to deal with, but when you have this amount of colors that you're putting into each and every painting for 78 different artworks, I just wonder what his mind was, if he went through overload or anything trying to this.
I can see that. And one of the things that I'm drawn to is when I was an art student, and I was painting and drawing, I was doing a lot of bright colors and contrast. So this is right up my alley. These are brighter than what I did, but Calla Lizzie is here. Hello. And Jackie's Crystal Moon is here. Hi, Jackie's Crystal Moon. Good to see you.
You want to show another card?
Getting caught up. Yeah, give me just a sec. I'm getting caught up in the chat because there's beautiful chat going on. So if you're watching back, leave comments, because this is really good. This is why I like doing lives, you all. You're making it good. And this almost reminds me of mural art. Yes, I could see that. I could see some of these things on a huge wall or bridge, underpass, or an overpass. I mean, that's cool. So it's kind of like a seek and find game where you have to look for the symbols. Maruda, I like that. And good, Lisa, I'm glad. Oh, and Jackie's Crystal Moon, Golden Art Nouveau is divine. And Robin, so she loves that, as does Beth. So Warrior Girl 113 is here. Hello. Yeah, it looks like a flower child made them. And see, and here's the thing is, yeah, roll right up on the mystery tour. It's one of those things that I agree with you, Robin. I wonder how the creator, Benjamin, what it was like for him to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're an artist, and people who do art, you get into that flow, and it's truly amazing. So
I'm trying to visualize him mapping these out. Not only did he have to think about organization in space, but also how to choose colors and where to apply them. The whole idea of even one of these cards overwhelms my mind, and I just don't know if he
I don't know. Yeah.
Laid down for days after each one.
Well, and in reading about the artist creating it, started painting in 2018. So I mean, this is an inspired deck. Yeah, black and white. Oh, and Jane the Seeker says, I see music as colors. Like Robin sees numbers as colors, sort of. Yeah, I get that. Black and white deck, black enchantment. I am thinking of the Terror of the Abyss. I wonder what that would be like. Lisa said maybe that's what I was leaning toward as interpretation, more intuitive. I like that. Strengthen my insight. Yeah. Okay. I've paired it with the Bianco Nero, Chef's Kiss for me. Oh. Grayscale deck might work, yes, as well, which is why I think Terror of the Abyss might work out nicely. Enchanted Unicorn has similar colors. Hershey, we will get to the Tower card. Robin says I use his decks more than he does.
Yeah. I mentioned it the other day. Yeah. I
X-ray
appreciate it.
SPL. And Beth, Aspasia Rising, said, Gerald, Denver commissions artists for mural art, and this looks like something you'd see there. I love it when people think enough of the community to create art and put art up.
And I forget where the artist is from, but it's somewhere in the Midwest, like Wisconsin or Minnesota or something. Nebraska. Oh. I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Where is Benjamin the creator from? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Somebody Google it.
Hi, Spiritual Rain. I know. I am such. Oh, here. Wait a minute. I am such. Here you go, Beth. I am such an underachiever. I did not search where Benjamin was from. And had I been planning better, I would have invited Benjamin to join us. Benjamin, if you're watching this back, thank you for creating such a nice deck.
Yes.
So, full name is Benjamin Allan Simon.
Yeah. Someone in chat, go to that website and look.
Spectrowhirl, yeah.
For us.
Yeah, and
I just was surprised that he's located out there in nowhere doing this.
Okay. All right. I want to show the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is a card that could be awfully shocking. And here's one of the reasons this is my favorite card, because the swords are creating, in my mind, this inner dialogue here and what's going on. And so I don't know what to say other than you have a rainbow, but you also have it divided in half and then diagonally. And there's so much, it just says, it's so complicated, the Three of Swords.
Yeah.
This allows it to be all of those things and to be beautiful at the same time.
And he uses a lot of spirals and color wheels in the image, and you can see them there.
Yeah. So, Warrior Girl said, I feel it helpful to peruse the book that comes with the deck and to get insight. Yes, you're right. Jackie Sarah, I'm just in the middle of my brushstroke course, popping in for some spiritual connection. Spiritual Rain, this is one. Ships from Elk Grove Village, Illinois. Okay. It is gorgeous. I can't help but giggle when Gerald uses his tiny hands. Well, see, and it would be, it could be like the tiny hand stabbing this. But so this was one of my favorites because there's all of this inside of it, and it's like, ooh.
And look at the top there. Is there some wings on there? It looks like two little wings.
Yep.
I can't tell if they're winged hearts landing on the hilt of the sword, or no, there's
it looks like there's wings on the hilt.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting too. Yeah. Wings on the hilt, and then one sword is red and the other one's green. So it's kind of like stop and go and movement, and there's a lot
chakra alignment as well. So, and I think it's it's a beautiful healing Three of Swords. So, all right, Robin, you're up.
Okay, this is another one that I love. This is the Strength card, and it's got just first of all, you see the colors, and there's a beautiful energy flow there. But if you look closer, you see the lion. Now, I want to say the handful of cards he has that actually have recognizable symbols in them, I'm not as fond of, but this one I love. I think it's subtly done enough that lion doesn't overpower the card. And I think it
Yes.
works really well with that kind of yin and yang of the S shape in the movement of the colors and the vibration. It's
Yes.
just really beautiful.
Does everyone see the lion right here? So yeah, and Robin, I agree with you. It's quite beautiful, and all of that energy. And this is a lion that actually looks happy.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and again, we have all of those details, like this above the strength. You know, all of that glorious detail. It's truly, truly powerful. Yeah, Calla Lizzie finally saw it. It's a beautiful strength card, Sandra. Yeah, I agree. It's really powerful. And I think it's, for me, when you can take the it just allows that love just to pop out. It's really amazing. So oh, I like the flames of Leo in it. Yes. Yes. So I'm going to show the Four of Swords. And the thing that I appreciate about the Four of Swords is there's this idea of rest that comes with the Four of Swords and the need to slow down. And when you compare the background to the other cards,
Yeah.
like I'm just pulling, you know, here's the Ace of Coins. When you look at the background on this, it's calmer. It's not as overwhelming. It's more calming in the sense of like drifting into dreams and not being in the full space. Does that make sense? Not
Yeah.
being crazy like that.
What I wanted to say about this card is it's got outlines in it, black outlines, and most of them don't. There's, I think, two in the deck, and the two that have the black outlines, I think, are hinting at stained glass windows, because
Yes.
Four of Swords, that's the one that usually in the RWS is in a tomb, and there's a stained glass window in the background. I think the other one is that the five of five. Which five is it with
Five of Coins?
Five of Coins. I think that's the other one that has outline. And those are a different. I would say this is a different style than the other cards in the deck. Because of that, he's trying to give you that stained glass window feel.
Oh, and look, everybody take a sip. Deanne, Blue Crescent Tarot is here. Hello, Deanne. It's it's one of those. It's a lovely one. So, all right, I'm trying to put these back in case people need to see some. So,
can I share one of what I'd like to alternate with one I'm not fond of, and then go back
for it.
To the one I love. This is one of my least favorite, and unfortunately, I mean, people will want to see this because it starts off the deck. It's the Fool. Now, the reason I'm not fond of this one is because I feel like it has a gestury, circusy feel to it that I feel like the deck has, except for this card. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the sci-fi comedy horror movie Killer Clowns from Space. But while I have that out, I'm going to show you my cotton candy, my parade cotton candy from the circus, because it goes so well with the card. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this Fool. Maybe it's the toothiness, maybe it's the idea of a jester. Yeah, Mardi Gras parade. Yeah, it's not the way I'd go with the Fool card, but a lot of decks
And
do.
Maruda Keeler said Mystic Palette begins with a Jester too. So, and Beth likes the Fool card.
I like
Be
the
a fool
button
instead of a
eye.
damn fool. Yeah, the button eye. And Medium Betsy Palmer reminds us the fool is making fun of us, or your demon parasite is in the room. And remember, the fool, if you're all watching Tarot the Stashway, the fool is the one who is able to speak the truth and get away with saying the challenging things. So, yeah.
It is an explosion. It's kind of like fireworks exploding too, like those pinwheels and
Yeah. So I would be I'm curious to the order in which Benjamin did these cards. So, so it's my turn, and I'm going to show I have 3 majors that I really like, and I'm going to start with the High Priestess. I mean, come on. That just radiates High Priestess to me. And it reminds me of, because it's actually calm and it has the feel of the pillars. It has the feel of the pillars. And it reminds me of, and I do not know the hands, but the hand that you will that looks like that has thumbs on both sides.
The hand of
if I were to hold it upside down, it looks like that.
Oh,
To me, it feels like the hand, and I think, ooh, yeah.
It's got the phases of the moon on the top there too.
Yeah. And it is beautiful.
I didn't notice until today, actually, that it's got the black and white pillars. That and here again, you have some black outlines in those. Now, I wouldn't say that those are stained glass. It looks more like mosaic on the pillars, but could be.
Hamsahan, thank you. Yeah, it's a beautiful High Priestess. And Medium Betsy Palmer brought up a point. This deck, for me, would be for the client that is emotionally closed. I would ask for the one card that holds the clues for the message, much like I use my chakra cards or chakra deck. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love that one. So, all right. All right, Robin.
Okay, I'm going to pull another major, the moon. Now, I wasn't that fond of the High Priestess because it's like overwhelmingly blue and a little on the cold side for me, but symbolically, it totally makes sense. That kind of night sky blue mystery feel. It just wasn't a color palette that personally I like warmer. But I mean, there's a lot of blue in this one. But oh my God, I can't get over how bright and contrasty your cards are compared to mine. I think it's just my lighting, or my camera.
It's your lighting.
But now I love in this one the way the moon is kind of grasping at this energy below. It's kind of like mama bird feeding baby bird or something. And look,
interesting.
At the heart of the moon, it's like there's a seed or something in there, the sun, I guess. And it's how those elements get incorporated or drawn down to us in energy on the ground, from above. And I also love the way the upper left and lower left look like wings, like,
like a stork or something.
Yeah.
Right there. See, Robin, you say that it looks like a mama bird feeding the baby birds. And what I see is I actually see the moon blowing this energy down.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So, and Maruda said the moon is reflecting the sunlight down to us. And how is the guidebook that comes with the deck? Does it provide artist insights? What I saw for the PDF, it does not give artist insights.
If you want me to read the description of a card when we show it, I can pull it up and read it for you. to give you an example, shall we do this one?
Hang on just a second. Tony said, I know the Weird of Sarah Howard Oracle would totally go with this. Yep. And what does the Hamsa signify, Jane? Because Jane wears one of those. Pamela looked at the High Priestess this morning and wondered where the water was. This one is full of water. Oh, was looking at a High Priestess.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready. I have it on my screen.
Okay. Yes, please. Read the moon. Read the moon, Robin.
Okay, it's just 2 short paragraphs. The crescent moon cracks open, and the mysterious essence of the subconscious mind spills onto the ground below. You were right. Contained within the moon is a treasure trove of unknown possibilities. Much of the moon's energy is an illusion, spawning nightmares and confusion, but some of it, if harnessed correctly, can feed our creativity and imaginations. Be mindful of deception and be careful how you act on your intuitions. Some colors are darker than they appear. And reversed, it says, the confusion that was muddying the waters of your mind is finally clearing up. Now that solutions are starting to appear and answers are becoming obvious, this is a good time to address problems head on and face the world with pristine vision. So he sounds like he definitely knows the tarot, and it sounds well written.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so getting caught up in chat, Calla Lizzie said, Benjamin does an alternate moon too. I noticed he sells some prints, and that was one of them. Thank you. And Kathy, Tortoiseshell Moon, said, I love the spirals. Spirals are important to me. I understand. And Jane the Seeker said that the Hamsa hand represents, in Jewish culture, the Hamsa hand represents protection from evil and a reminder to pray. 5 is a significant number in Judaism and is considered the number of protection. And lovely Michelle Marie is here, Astrological Tarot. Yeah, it is good. It is good, isn't it? It's a beautiful description. So, and because everybody is wanting me to show the Tower card for Hershey. I have it right here, but I'm not going to show it right now. This is the Tower card. And I like this. I like the eyeball at the top. I like how the lightning crosses it. I like the smoke and the swirls and the flames below. So, Hershey, are you looking?
You know what's weird? I don't know what it is, but for some reason, my mind flashed when I saw this card, and it made me think of the Barbara Walker Tarot. I don't know.
I don't have mine with me right now.
Yeah,
but
me either.
I could see that. But I do like this one and how it's split across. I also appreciate that there is no one falling from the tower.
Yeah, I love that third eye again up there. It's sort of like, the tower's not all bad. You get insight from this, happening,
Yeah. And it does look like this card could give birth, Jane the Seeker. I am so glad somebody said that. So, and okay, all seen. You're seeing it. Good. And Medium Betsy Palmer talked about the moon responding to our moon phase workings. A reminder to be aware of what we ask for because it's on the way to us. There you go. Here, that deserves a fan thwarp. It's on the way to us, people. Right, remember that. Okay. It reminds me of Admiral OJ's Tiki Fire rum. Okay. Illuminati comes to mind. Uh-oh. Hershey said, Bonefire is out. This one is replacing it. So makes Maruta think of the Eye of Sauron. Yeah. The Hamsa has its origins through the Middle East. Yeah, it's a national symbol of Algeria. Nice. The keyhole in the foundation. Yeah.
Yeah.
The tower is like an awakening. It's fab. I agree.
I love the little zigzag steps on the bottom left and right too, kind of like after the
Yeah.
fall, pick yourself up and climb again.
Hmm. And Beth said Benjamin Allan Simon, the creator, definitely into protection with the Eye of Horus and Hamsa, so prevalent. Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, because we've been at an hour, I want to get through all of our cards. So go ahead, Robin. What do you got?
Well, I'm alternating between favorites and not so favorites. This is another one. I want people to see cards that have a little bit more representation
Sure.
in them rather than abstraction. This is the Emperor, not one of my favorites. I get it with the symbolism of the ram skulls and everything, and I
Hmm.
actually love the top part. It's just I'm not crazy about the ram skulls, but
You know what is so different, Robin, is all of the other cards are much more colorful. There is not as much white in it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't.
So
Maybe
I think
that's it.
that's
There's not
interesting.
not much white in the deck, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to show the Hermit because I am a hermit,
Oh,
and
that was my next card. Love it.
isn't this great? It's like holy mackerel. Buy Hypnocity, purchase responsibly, know your limits.
Yeah.
And so I just love how is the light radiating out? Is it radiating in? It's hanging from a tree branch, and look at all of that information
Yes.
that is in the light as it's either coming in and coming out. It just reminds me the importance of when we connect to our divinity in whatever form, it has something to say, and whomever needs to hear it is going to find something. So I'm looking at you, people. I'm
Yeah.
looking at you. What you have to say is important. Someone needs to hear it.
It really feels like a card of focus, and you're right. It's like,
It does.
is the energy radiating towards you or from you? Either way, it's an impactful card.
Yeah.
Look how it looks. How the relax the is that waves at the bottom or under the tree?
It's
Tell if
nighttime. Yeah.
land or water.
Yeah.
It has a kind
Oh,
of a
yeah.
flowing.
Beth brings up a good point. The Hermit looks southwestern. I could definitely see those as tapestries,
Mm,
woven tapestries.
yeah,
That's amazing.
right.
That's
Native
amazing.
American art. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. A little southwestern. Yeah, for sure. All right, you're up. Go ahead and show another one.
10 of Wands. I'm really big on the Wands cards in this deck, are favorites. I just like their energy, but they're also the Wands in here kind of remind me of the Doctor Who magic screwdriver or whatever it is that he uses.
It's the sonic screwdriver,
Screwdriver.
Robin.
Yeah. Um, yeah, they're just really ornate and colorful, and they're not just a plain old stick. They have a lot going on in the wands, and I just really
Mhm.
love this 10 of Wands.
And personally, I like the idea of it being connected to the sonic screwdriver. Okay, getting caught up in chat. Kathy Tortoiseshell Moon says it's a beautiful kaleidoscope of wisdom and light. And Tony said the Emperor is different in the second version. And yes, Michelle Marie, the use of color in this deck is truly amazing. And Calla Lizzie said I could see them as a picture quilt or whatever you call them, Gerald. That hermit would be gorgeous. Yeah, it would. It would. I want to bring up the lovers. And what I like about this lovers is I think it's just, I mean, soak that image in, people.
Yeah.
When you see someone and there is a connection, there is this beautiful look how it's the roots from the eyes are going back into the mind, and it's just like into the brain. It's like, wow. I think it's really, really pretty. And this is one where the white, or excuse me, the dark silhouette of the people you can't necessarily say it's male or female. It doesn't matter, because in my mind, the Lovers is about partnership at a deeper level. And come on, it's like, holy mackerel. So, yeah, it's a wow. Hi, Lior. Lots of emotion there. Someone you see eye to eye with. And I think Coyote the Gray is here. Hello, Coyote the Gray. And hello, Coyote the Silver, if you're watching. Beth asked, question, do you see a specific style or predominant color that encapsulates each of the suits? No. Nope. I was actually looking for that. Yeah. And they don't. Yeah, they even have Lover's Tears. Yep.
I have mixed feelings about this card. I think it's a really powerful card, but I think because the figures are so dark and the deck is all about light and color, that it has this intensity that I don't associate generally with a Lover's card. It's almost too, I feel more of a confrontational aspect of it, or a kind of a mind melt. Even look at the expressions on their faces. It's almost like an accusation rather than admiration or love or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes me think, but I'm just not, it's not what I think of as a Lover's card, but I do think it's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It may not be what you think of it, but when you see it, you go, oh yeah. I think is it synopsis or synopsis? Yeah, I get what you're, what'd you say?
Synapses.
Okay.
Synapse.
What Robin said. Oh, and Maruda typed it in also. So synapses. So, yeah. All right, Robin, how many cards do you have left?
Oh, just a couple.
Okay.
This one I don't care for so much. Again, I think he may be better at abstraction and pattern and design than he is at capturing realistic objects. This is the King of Coins, and it's got a bull with a ring through its nose in it. And I mean, it works symbolically, but it's just, I think I'm just not as, what is one of his eyes dripping matter or something? Or maybe it's just energy. One is orange and the other is purple energy. But I just think that his strengths in art are with the color patterns and his use of color more than his depiction of, actual living things.
And I think it's one of those things that I'm going to have to be careful and look at, just because it's like, wow. And okay, and Tony said the Eight of Swords is weird with the big black and white swirls in it. I'm going to show this one because I considered this for one of my favorite cards, because when you think about the Eight of Swords, it's like you're stuck in this spiral in your brain and you're feeling trapped, and it is very jarring having the black and white. And I think it's perfect. I love that.
That one reminds me of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, The Nightmare Before Christmas, but also what's the Hitchcock film?
Vertigo.
No. So yeah. King of Cups is Taurus. Yep, here you go. And yeah, and Lior, black is the vibrancy. I'm sold. And here, let me put this back up. Know your limits, purchase responsibly. Vertigo, yes. I travel on swirls or spirals, so it's pulling me in. I get that. Yeah, Tony agrees. So, okay. I'm going to share the Eight of Cups, because the Eight of Cups is a card. I appreciate this version of it, because when you think about the traditional RWS, it's somebody walking away from cups. This is, I'll just stop talking because you get it. It's like there's this charge, especially when you put the two cups in the center, the spark happens and then everything radiates out. It's like, whoa.
This would be a good temperance card too, I think. But when I got this card, I had to count the cups, and you might want to count them to see if you can find all 8 of them. I think they are all there, but
Yep.
it's not obvious. It just looks like there's 2 or 4 there, but there's 8.
Yeah. Yeah. And Spiritual Rain said, Vertigo or Mel Brooks tribute, High Anxiety.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to watch High Anxiety. So, yeah, it is an interesting take on the 8 of Cups. Okay, what do you got, Robin?
Well, since we're running out of time, I'm going to double up. So I have the Hanged Man and Temperance.
Okay.
Now, this is another card where there is an actual figure in it, but again, it's in silhouette. And I think this works a little better. Now, I'm not sure about the serpent above in the Hanged Man. It looks good.
Let's show the Hanged Man first alone.
Okay.
We'll do both of them. We're not going to leave until we get through because I have the death card to show somebody. I think it was Calla Lizzie.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say about this. I just noticed the flowers at the bottom, which are really beautiful. I love the whole thing, but the serpent gives me pause, and I'm not sure if I follow it in the Hangman or what to make of that.
Okay.
On serpents.
I think this the serpent is because they shed their skin, they evolve and they grow. I think for me, a lot of times I think about the evolution, and when we get a different perspective, it can help us grow and evolve. And so that's part of how I feel. That doesn't bother me as much.
Oh, it doesn't bother me. I just didn't understand it. Yeah.
And so Hangman seems biblical, Garden of Eden below, temptation of snake above, temperance is beautiful. Yeah. And there's some liking of that. So, and Tony said he has an 8 of Swords swirl added to him in this second edition. And so here's temperance. Let's show the temperance card for you. And what were you saying about temperance?
I don't think I said anything yet, but I do love that kind of waterfall feel on the right and then the growth on the left. So there's a very earth and water kind of thing with the fire element too.
Fire, yeah.
Let's see, do we have earth, air, water, and fire? Air maybe in the middle with the violet. I'm not sure.
I would say that, yes.
And also possibly the rainbow rising from below on that sort of pyramidal structure.
Yeah. And Hershey said, Google quote, I was skimming through Pinterest and saw a Hanged Man card in which the Hanged Man was tied by the foot with a snake and not a coil of rope. Okay. So, all right. And Tony says, I'm hovering on second edition. I think it has amazing upgrades. Yeah. All right. I have... Okay, here's a different spin on the 4 of Cups that I really appreciate. And when I was reading with this one, Robin, it really it broadened my understanding of it. The 4 of Cups, is the one where we will oftentimes see somebody who is despondent, they're slightly bored, they're sitting under the tree, and they're missing the cup that's being handed to them. And what I got with this is that when we accept and allow that that divinity to flow into us, it picks up speed and it gets shared with the other cups. And it just reminds me the importance of 4s are about foundation and getting solid. And this is allowing, it suggests filling your own cup first, so then you can fill everybody else's cup. So,
and I love that
crystals, Jackie's crystal moon.
I love that sort of cascade down from the top cup to the other cups. It's sort of like You don't want what's in this cup? Well, how can you resist when I pour it out like this?
Yeah.
Look at the live the it's like a Skittles commercial. You know, what is it about?
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow or something.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks, Calla Lizzie. And I think that's one thing, and I will add this to my Four of Cups explanation in my notes, is that when we allow our cup to be filled, then we can spill it out to others. Being filled with Holy Spirit, yes. Being filled with joy, love, whatever you want to call it. And Beth said, with the snake above, following temptation and our curiosity helps us grow. Hanged Man seems to be in the middle of that. Stasis or growth. Fave card so far. Glad you brought that up. All right. I have 3 more cards left, Robin. What do you have?
Well, about 5 or 6, but they're not all that important. Some are more than others.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, Kathy, either. So go ahead and show a card, Robin.
Oh, well, I'm going to show 3 here at a time. I tell you, when we were talking about the sonic screwdriver. Yeah, I have the 3 of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. They're just, these wands are just ornate, incredibly ornate.
I mean, and they absolutely, have a whole hell of a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So.
Look, this one's got rings around it, It's the king.
Yeah.
And then last one there is Knight, the Knight. I'm not sure. Is it the Knight that this is the other one I bought the painting of. I'm so lucky to have it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I also picked picked the 2 of Wands too, because that just is the swirl is truly incredible. I really am a fan of that. And so love that. One card that that gave me pause was the 8 of coins, because I was like going, wait a minute, what? I mean, what's all this on the side? And I'm looking at it, I'm like going, those could, I don't know, for those of you who know the chakra symbols, are those the chakra symbols?
I think that's the color order, but I'm not the bottom one though, I don't think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the bottom one's typically red, but it just gave me pause. That's all. Yeah, Leora is in love. Kathy said, "I bet those cards look epic in a spread." Yes, yes. Yeah. And Beth says, "I keep seeing New Orleans in this."
A little overwhelming. I don't believe I've done a spread larger than 3 cards. I think I would go freak out if I did a grand tableau or something with them.
One of my favorite cards in the tarot is the 2 of coins. And I mean, come on, talk about some spirals. Yeah. Spiral and spiral and spiral and spiral. Love that.
Yeah.
All right, Robin, what do you got? Because I have the death card that people wanted to see.
Well, this is my last good one, and then I have a couple that I wasn't as fond of. The 8 of Wands people like to see usually because they always complain about it being too samey, and you can see the same thing we're used to about 8 wands moving through the sky. I love the fact that they're all different and they're all sort of in this kind of chakra pattern, color pattern, rainbow pattern, and it's night sky in the background, and just kind of like the feel of the energy.
And I love it. Calla Lizzie said, my eyeballs would short circuit trying to do a large layout with this deck.
Yeah.
Maybe that's exactly what you need to do, Calla Lizzie. Short circuit your brain. And Maruda said that the 8 of coins reminds them of the RWS with the 8 coins where they go up the side. Good point.
You
Thank
know,
you.
it also reminds me, funny, that was the first card that really made noises to me. It reminded me of a pinball machine that ate them.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, did you say you were going to show the death card?
I am going to show the death card, and then I also have, I need to look at Death and the Devil. I got that marked. This is the death card.
The death card almost is like tilt for me on the pinball machine. You know, it's like
Sure.
ultimate kind of,
Sure.
and I'm not sure if I like it, but it's really strong.
Mhm. And okay, so the death card, the devil card, please hold. Is the devil card, is that one that you were not so fond about?
Yeah. It's all
So
right.
there's the devil. I mean, and that, I mean, let's face it, yeah, Robin's got his upside down. And this is not as colorful. It's not as cross spectrum as all of the other cards. And that actually says something because it's all red. And what do the red, red is passion, it's desire, it's anger, it's all of the things that, could be there. So Beth said, I like the devil card a lot, meh on the death card.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay.
I'm curious what you guys think about the borders. We also haven't talked about the font, which is kind of but I'm glad that it's white on black and it's easy to read.
I think it's easy to read, and we all know how I feel about font. Font matters.
Yeah.
And I'm just so over when somebody doesn't have a good font. It's frustrating to me. So I'm trying to find what did I do with the? Oops.
This is my last one, the Chariot. Again,
okay.
Not the best horses. It's all right. It's
Bye,
okay.
Manasa. Okay, and then I have some aces to show. I think that, with the Chariot, there's a lot of black and white is very appropriate for the Chariot.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how where the Charioteer would sit is where all of the fire energy is, because in the Chariot card, you need to have the focus. The Charioteer needs to have the focus to keep the horses going in the right direction. Yeah, and I think the font is good. And I was trying to find. Okay, I have some aces to show.
Take your time. I'm done.
You're done, and I can't find my ace of wands. Where the hell is that? Listen to me. Now I'm frustrated. Where's the ace of wands?
Maybe I can find it.
Here, because I got it. Okay, so aces. Who wanted to see the aces? Okay, Kathy, here you go. So we have the ace of wands. Ace of cups. Ace of coins. This image reminds. Oh, I wonder how this would go with the fairy tale tarot. So there's the ace of coins, and then the ace of swords.
Yeah, it's funny. The swords is kind of my least favorite suit in this deck. I don't know why, but
I actually liked a lot of the swords. Did you say this is? Yes, this is the first edition, Beth. And Tony is looking at the second edition, and Tony said that it's not too bad to ship to the UK. I can't find that. Okay.
I think there's a lot of gray in the swords thing because the blades are gray, and maybe that's why. I'm not sure. Blue and gray kind of palette.
They are actually, I think they're darker colors.
You know,
That,
I,
you know,
I
there's,
wanted,
yeah.
I just wanted to show this. We showed earlier the Four of Swords, and I mentioned that the Five of Coins also had a stained glass effect, and we didn't
Oh,
show that
yeah.
for you to see the difference
Thank you,
there.
Robin.
So those are the two that have that stained glassy kind of feel to them.
Yeah. And Beth said the strength card is different in the second edition. Okay. Wow.
Oh,
Okay. Wow.
I can't imagine it being better because I love that strength card.
It's a great. Okay. So, Robin, what do you got coming up on your channel?
The only thing at the moment, I think, I'm not sure if it's penned in. I I, I think it's pretty certain I'm going to have Jason from Tarot by the Pines on. I forget the date, but it's like maybe third week in February, so it's a couple
Okay.
weeks away. Yeah.
So everybody like and subscribe. It's free. Ring the bell for notification. Jason just did a video this morning about his favorite suit, which is the swords.
Oh, I have to watch
Today.
that.
And
He did a great one. He did a great one today with two black and white decks from DeBry. Or no, one's from DeBry. They're both the same creator though, and yeah, it's interesting if you're into black and white stuff.
So join me tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. I have Mark, Spirit Whisperer, on for a casual. Mark actually goes on, his regular time is on Monday. And he's just a great guy. He goes on Mondays and Saturdays. So I have him on Tuesday.
Was he the one with the monkey?
Yes,
Does
he
is. Actually have a monkey?
He does not, but he does channel the nature spirit Pan, and he worked as a zookeeper for 30 years.
Oh.
So, and it's the DeBry. The Black Tarot is one of them. Yep. So, wow. Everybody, thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate you being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And if you've watched this in playback, please leave a comment and let me know. And you all take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.